All right, welcome to Coffee with Markus. This is episode 106, and today I'll show you what's happening in the market so that you know what's going on. And it's bad again today. I also want to show you what exactly I do trading into the presidential election that's in 5 days from now so that you know what professional traders do. And then, of course, we're doing a deep dive where I answer your questions. So thanks for being live here. Anyhow, does all this sound good? Well, then let's get started. This show is about real money and real trades. I'll show you the trading strategies that I personally trade, the tools that I use to trade my own accounts, and we will talk about the right mindset of a trader. Now, talking about mindset, I'm going to show you how to create SRC profits. And SRC stands for systematic, repeatable, and consistent, because that is the key to long-term success in the markets. So, if you are sick of all the hype and empty promises, and you want to learn trading strategies that actually work, then click on like right now and let's get started. All right, so first segment here. What is happening in the markets? Well, stocks are down again. And look at this. Right now, the NASDAQ is down 3.25%. And we'll talk about in a moment of why that is. We also see that the S&P 500 right now down 2%. Touching the lows that have been established here in December, but look at the Dow. The Dow actually took out the lows that we had in December and is just marching down. I mean, right now it seems that the Dow is marching straight toward the 25,000. So what is happening right now? Why are markets down? Well, today's sell-off is led by actually tech. So the NASDAQ is down 3.2%. So why? What is happening? Well, yesterday we had many companies reporting earnings, some of them being Apple, for example. And Apple said, well, we did sell less iPhones. Hold on. This is not the right symbol. AAPL, there it is. So they said, well, we sold fewer iPhones here. And as you can see right now, Apple is down 6.3%. Then also Amazon reported earnings. And even though Amazon reported better than expected earnings, they also provided some guidance and said, well, we are expecting over the next few weeks and months higher cost due to the pandemic. And this is why right now Amazon is going down 5.8%. Then we also had Twitter reporting yesterday, and Twitter reported less user growth. So they're not growing anymore, or they're not growing as much as traders and analysts want them. And so they're down more than 20%. Facebook also reported yesterday after the bell, and as you can see, down 7.5%. Same here, less user growth, and also a little bit less ad spend here. Tesla also today getting hammered, down 5.7%. The only stock that is going up is Google. And you see, but right now it's also dragging down. So Google reported yesterday after the bell, and they reported better than expected earnings. So overall, as you can see today, a sea of red. So not a whole lot going on. So Microsoft down, Apple down, Amazon, as you can see, they're all down, down, down here. And when you have these heavyweights going down, I mean, looking at the NASDAQ weighting here, you see these are the components of the NASDAQ 100, and the NASDAQ is a weighted index. So you have Apple, which is down 6% today, Amazon down 5.6%. Microsoft only down 2%, but Facebook, you see the first few here, 13. This is already like, 35%. So a third of the weight of the NASDAQ. And this is why right now, yes, it is going down. It is bad. And that's what we're going to talk about today, because in 5 days, we have the election going up. So, so good to see everybody here. And I just glanced at the comments, and Keith said, well, sitting on your hands is good, good, good. Absolutely, right? And Frank, really appreciate the feedback on the new episode opening. So this Asia, my genius editor, she has done it, and I really like it a lot. So anyhow, we will talk about the individual trades. I'll show you exactly what I mean. Actually, let's get started. So let's talk about how to trade the presidential election. I'll show you what exactly I am doing right now so that you can get an idea of what you should be doing. So let's take a look at this week. It is the week before the election. So right now, the NASDAQ for this week, the NASDAQ is down 6.1%. So we have only 5 days before the election and NASDAQ is down heavily. The S&P 500 is down 6.25% and the Dow Jones is down more than 7%. And you see, I used my handy dandy notebook to actually write this down. So when I did this earlier, we said it was down almost 6%. Now the NASDAQ is down more than 6% going into the election. Now, the VIX, which is the fear factor, the fear gauge, the volatility index, let's just quickly check. Earlier when I checked it, it was at 39. Yeah, it's still right there. It is at 39. And as you can see, this is the highest value since June. So it is definitely higher than in September, where we have been going down. So let's just write this down here really quick. So the VIX is at 39, which is the highest value since June. So this is 5 months ago. So let's talk about it. What is causing this drop? Why are we going down going into this election? And one word sums it up perfectly. And this one word is uncertainty. That's what we are seeing right now. And let's actually talk about the uncertainty of what's going on. First of all, first uncertainty is who will win the election, right? So, I mean, as we know right now, Biden is ahead in the polls. But remember 2016, right? Even though he's had more than Hillary ever was, whatever, right? And the second key thing is here, when will we know? When will we know the results, right? And I received actually an email today from NADEX. I found this very interesting, so I want to show it to you. So, oh, that file cannot be accessed. Okay, we'll skip over this. But you see, we might actually not know on election day or even the night off, right? Because it could be that we have this going on for a few days. Now, also, as we know, uncertainty here, will there be a fight? And we already know that Trump said, yes, there will be a fight. If he is losing, he said, I will put up a fight, maybe even involving the Supreme Court, which again could delay the results here. So this is one of the reasons why there's uncertainty right now. What is number two? The coronavirus. So as we know, right now we have the highest number of cases since we are tracking, right? Highest number of cases since we are tracking this coronavirus. And again, there's questions right now that traders are asking themselves. For example, how will this impact the economy? Economy. There we go, right? I mean, will we shut down again as Germany and France already did? The question is, when will we get a vaccine? Right? So, I mean, it is coming. And then we have the third uncertainty here. And the third uncertainty is because we have this impact on the economy, what about the new stimulus bill? And this new stimulus bill seems to be stuck right now. So the question here is, when will we get it? And also, what will it look like? So all of these are the uncertainties that we have in the markets right now. And because of this uncertainty, the markets are down. But hey, we wanted to talk about what to do trading ahead of the presidential election. So let's talk about it. Here is what I'm doing right now. I only have one position left in my portfolio. Let me show you. The position that I've left in the portfolio is TQQQ. As you know, this is a trade that is right now underwater, so I need to wait until TQQ comes back. I did sell a put on TQQQ today, so we will see. I talked about it in the previous video, so if you would like to know what is happening with this trade, why is this the only trade that I have still open, I'll link to it in the description. So look at the previous video, episode 105. So I got out of ATVI yesterday. I got out of Win today. So Win was another winning trade. And ATVI, yes, it was my first losing trade with the wheel strategy. And yes, it was a loss of $60. Thus far, I made $12,500, somewhere like this. And yes, I lost $60 yesterday. ATVI broke my winning streak. Anyhow, I also got out of HAL and AM yesterday. These were the last two PXO trades. Now, listen, there were some great opportunities this week, according to PowerX Optimizer. And trust me, without the election, I would have absolutely taken it. I actually want to show you another great opportunity. So this morning, there was a great opportunity in Apple. Let me just show you. And I was so tempted to take it. So Apple is going down. So this is where I wanted to take a wheel trade. And again, the wheel trade here would be to sell a strike price of 105. And let me ask you this: who wouldn't want to own Apple at 105? Now let me show you what this would have looked like. So just zooming in here a little bit. So for the 103, that was actually, why did I have 105 there? I was actually looking at the 103 because this is as crazy as it was today. So a strike price of 103, opportunity here to sell some premium. And look at this. This morning I saw $1.40, so this would have given me a premium of $47 a deal, or a day, or annualized 82%. So needless to say, I was super excited about this. But here's the deal. Here's the deal. Other professional traders are doing exactly what I'm doing. I'm closing my existing positions until there is more certainty, and closing positions usually means selling. And very few people want to buy right now into this uncertainty. And this is why the markets are going down. Now, talking about the uncertainty, next week at the election, some uncertainty will be off the table. So at some point next week, we will know who will be the next president. However, if it will be Biden, we don't know much yet. I mean, we have some ideas about his policy, but what exactly will he do regarding the coronavirus? Will he shut down the economy? And also, if Biden wins, what will Trump do? We already know that he will put up a fight and he could do something unpredictable. So even though uncertainty number one might be taking off the table, there's still some uncertainty there. And uncertainties number 2 and 3 will still be there. Now, until there is more uncertainty in the markets, expect the markets to be volatile as they are right now. So I will trade very lightly until the markets have more certainty. And I will keep you updated here, right here on this channel in Coffee with Markus, of what I'm doing. So make sure that you subscribe to this video so that I can show you what wheel trades I'm taking, what PowerX trades I'm taking. So as you know, I'm trading live here. If this is your first time here, yeah, today not much live trading because we have the election coming up. Now, once the uncertainty comes out of the markets, trading will be a lot of fun again. But let me just ask you very quickly, does this help you when I'm giving you some insights of how professional traders think? Because we talked about the 3 pillars of successful traders. Number 1, having a solid strategy. Number 2, having the right tools. And number 3, having the right mindset. And today, I wanted to share the mindset of a professional trader when you see that there's so much uncertainty going on. Anyhow, so was this helpful at all? If it was, do me a favor, click on like so that more people will see this video. And if you enjoyed this very short segment here and would like to see more videos like this, click on subscribe and hit the little bell, because this way you get notified whenever I release a new video. Also, as always, feel free to share this video on Facebook, Twitter, or by email, and I will see you in the next video. All right, now, since you're here live, I want to, of course, do the deep dive right now where we dive into questions. I just thought it would be helpful for you. I talked about it on Monday, so beginning of the week, that sitting on your hands right now is really, really good. And so let's just take a look at your comments here. Really appreciate you being live. If you're watching the recording, leave a comment right underneath the video. I'm looking at all of the comments personally, and I'm responding to these comments personally. So I know that many of you have left comments, and I've been talking to you. Okay, so the Wiles is asking, hey Marcus, when you get issued a stock, how do you set up your covered calls? Meaning, how do you know your strikes? You see, this is a great question. I get this a lot. So the wheel strategy, if you're new to the wheel strategy, I'll link to a playlist in the description where you can get more information about this. But yes, the wheel strategy is a 5-step strategy, and step number 4 and 5 are selling calls and collecting premium. So the question is, where do you set it? And you see, there is not an easy answer. This is why, when doing this, I'm using, let me actually share my desktop here, my computer. I'm using the wheel calculator, for example, for today. Today, I decided to sell a TQQQ put. And there was a reason for this because I didn't see enough premium in any of the calls that are available right now. Now, here's the important thing. First of all, I would not sell a strike price that is below my break even. So always know your break even and your cost basis. And in the previous video, I'll link to it in the description. I'll show you exactly how I calculate my cost basis. And then it really depends on the volatility of the stock, on the move of the stock over the next few days, and can I get enough premium over the next 3 to 10 days. That is my horizon that I'm looking at. Anyhow, the Wilds, is this helping a little bit? Yeah. Okay. Alex said, yeah, everything is red. And so Timothy says the censorship scandals vis-a-vis Twitter, Facebook cannot help the tech stocks. So here's the deal. I mean, it's a good point. Think about this way. How do they make money? How does Facebook make money? How does Twitter make money, right? I mean, through advertising. And if right now you see that these companies are under fire, right? And that there might be some changes. As a big advertiser, you might actually scale back the advertising and look at other possibilities, right? Because there's uncertainty going on and you don't want to be connected. As you know, there was this boycott by advertisers, I believe it was in June or July, against Facebook because they, until then, decided not to censor hate speech. And they have ever since reversed their stance. But you see, advertisers here might pull out because they do not want to be connected with social media networks that is censoring. And I mean, this is probably hurting Twitter right now. So yeah, good point. Anyhow, so Mr. Pack is asking about a wheel trade AIG. Said, I'm not right now. I am not entering any wheel trades. I have this one trade open. You know exactly why it is open. This is the trade that is underwater right now. I'm selling more premium today. I got another $3.70 in premium, another $370. So this brings up my total profits of selling premium here to $2,000, a little bit over $2,000, which really helps my cost basis. And again, I did a video on this. And yeah, Jignesh says, isn't this at all a good opportunity to sell cash covered puts? Yes, it is. But again, there is a lot of uncertainty. So if you're right now selling puts, you're playing with fire because next week markets could react very nervous to the outcome of the election, no matter what it is, right? I mean, there will be some uncertainty, and I want to see that this uncertainty is coming off the table. Here's the deal. We have 3 more trading days until the election. We have today, and the day is almost over. Markets are open another 12 minutes. Then we have Monday, and then we have Tuesday, and on Tuesday we have the election. So, I mean, is it really too much right now to sit on your hands? That's what I do. Hey, if you want to take some trades right now, be my guest. Maybe you make a lot of money, but also maybe you lose a lot of money. And you know, in this show, and my trading is all about SRC profits, systematic, repeatable, and consistent, right? I do not want to gamble. That is not my personality. I'm making informed decisions. And here is what I'm seeing right now. Anyhow, yeah, Jignesh says, and if you get a sign, is it still good since you're getting all these stocks for heavy discounts? Yes, and maybe they tank so much that you cannot sell call premiums. And you see, part of the wheel strategy and part of my almost impeccable success here with the wheel strategy is because I'm very picky when it comes to stocks and strike prices. And you might say that I'm maybe overcautious, but hey, I've been trading for a long time. And trust me, in this long time, I made a lot of mistakes. And yeah, I had this idea, oh my gosh, there's so much opportunity. I need to jump right in it. It was during the first Gulf War, actually. that I had I sold premium on puts because there was so much premium in there, and I got hurt really, really badly. This was in the very, very beginning of my trading career. Can remember, I believe it was 2001. Who remembers when it was? Might have been in the late 90s. I mean, again, we're talking about the first Gulf War here, and this is where I lost, I think, 75 or 80% of my account on doing some stupid stuff here. Anyhow, good, good, good. Andreas asking, is it more likely that markets are going up or down after the election? Andreas, I actually did some research for you. And because I was curious as well, because I wanted to see, is there a pattern? So earlier, here's what I did. Let's go back to my handy dandy notebook, and I've hidden it a little bit below here, but I looked at the S&P 500 performance in percent, and I looked at it over the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elections, and here's what I saw. Right on election day in 2000, the S&P was down 0.02%, so basically nothing. The day after the election, 1.58, and this is when George W. Bush got elected. In 2004, on election day, as you can see, also slightly up, 0.01, pretty much unchanged, right? And then it was 1.12% up after the election. Then we had President Obama elected in 2008. On election day, markets were up 4%, getting really super excited. The day after the election, as you can see, the S&P 500 dropped 5.27%. So, I mean, Andreas, you're asking a great question. But you see, based on this, and I just went back for the past 5 elections because I couldn't see any reliable pattern. And this is why I decided, no, why go back any further? It seems that there's not really a reliable pattern that we can see. Anyhow, Andreas, is this making sense? Because I had the same idea than you, where I said, hey, maybe there is a pattern, and maybe we can play this pattern. But then looking at this, I did it earlier. There wasn't anything that I saw. Anyhow. Okay, so Timothy says, I'm sure NADEX, home of the binary options, are having a fun time with election season. I believe so. I believe so. Paresh, there's Paresh. So good to see you. I heard the good news too earlier. So you talked to Raza. You're now a Diamond member. I know Raza called me, so we talked about you. I'm so excited that you are now part of the mastermind. So Paresh, super excited to start working with you, especially in these times, right? Because as you can see, there is great opportunity if you know how to do it the right way. But we also want to be cautious because, as Warren Buffett always says, right, rule number 1 to make money in trading is don't lose money. And so capital preservation is the most important thing. You want to make sure that you do have money when there are opportunities. Anyhow, so good to see you here. Moment says S&P looks like it will test the 3,500 key level. You see, one of the things that I like to do, and I talked about it in a previous video, I like to apply the Bollinger Bands here, right? So there's another video, I'll link to it in the description, of how to use Bollinger Bands because the Bollinger Bands are usually pretty good. When you see that the lower Bollinger Band is pointing down and prices are now touching the lower Bollinger Band, it is more likely that the market is going down. You see, this is what we saw earlier. So we will know when this down move is over as soon as we see that the lower Bollinger Band is flattening. And you see, during the September drop here, we saw it was going down. And then a few days later, around end of September, we saw that now the down move is over. Now, you might see it looking directly at the chart. For me, it is easier to use indicators. Technical indicators are my help. Now, for the S&P 500, we see a very similar pattern here, as well as the Dow. So as you can see here, prices are even outside of the Bollinger Bands. So when will this down move be over? Well, probably when the lower Bollinger Band starts turning around. And again, if you would like to have more information on this, I did a video on how I use Bollinger Bands. I'll link to it in the description. Anyhow, let's just keep going down here the list. There's so many comments. I want to go through as many comments as possible. Keith says all relevant questions and correlate to the market uncertainty. Yeah, that's what it is right now. Lots of uncertainty, and we need to see, can we remove some of the uncertainty here? Okay, so PKO says, couldn't pull the trigger on the TQQ 100 puts today. Couldn't bear the thought of owning another 100 shares of this volatile ETF. And that's fine, right? I mean, this is when I issue the alert, I'm telling you clearly what I'm expecting, right? But also make sure that you are following your risk level. So I believe that this was a super smart move because I've been trading for a long time. And what will happen here is that I'm trying to bring down my cost basis. And right now, if I'm getting assigned at the 100, my cost basis will probably be somewhere at around 105, 106, somewhere there. Between I haven't calculated it just yet. I did it in the previous video. You see, if we really dip below 100, I believe it is very, very likely that we come back to 105, and then I can get out of this rather quickly. That's why I did it today. This is why I issued the alert. Anyhow, so Jignesh says, did you close the win trade already? Yes, I'm closing the trades at 90% of the profits. I believe that today we should be fairly safe. If you still have win, as you can see, the strike price that we sold is 70. So we want to want win to close above 70 today. Then you get the full premium. Oops, and I forgot to share the screen. Here we go, the 70 strike price. So we are good here. If you're still holding win, we have another 4 minutes into trading. You should be safe here. However, keep in mind that options can be exercised until 5:30 Eastern time. So it's not that you can look at it and say, oh my gosh, here in 4 minutes they will close and phew, everything is over. No, the aftermarket prices, the aftermarket action still counts. An options owner, and this is very important that you know this, the options owner has the right to exercise the option until 5:30 later today. So just be aware of this. The options expire technically tomorrow on a Saturday. They expire the day after the Friday. It's kind of weird. Anyhow, you need to know these things. Good, good, good. Okay, so Carlos is asking, great question. Which of these three uncertainty issues are causing the market to drop the most? You see, this is like the perfect storm. Have you ever seen the movie? There was a movie with who was in there? Mark Wahlberg, The Perfect Storm. What is causing the perfect storm? It is not one factor. It is the combination of the three factors here. So which of these three factors right now is causing the most uncertainty? It is really the triple whammy that we see here that is causing the markets to tank right now and are being on track. I mean, because of this week, now October will be negative. Let's take a quick look at this. But everything looked good with the indices going into the week. You see, this week, the NASDAQ lost 5.8%. So for the months, it is now down negative 4.9% because of this week. Otherwise, Nasdaq would have been positive. The S&P 500 without this week would have been positive. And you also see right here, year to date, we're pretty much back where we started in the beginning of the year. So the S&P 500 just trading where we were at the beginning of the year. But you see, this is the great thing, and this is why I believe it is super important, especially when you look at the S&P and Dow. The Dow is now down 8% for the year. This is why I believe it is so important that you learn how to trade, because over the past few weeks, during this craziness, I mean, let's take a look at this. While we have this craziness going on this account that I'm trading here live with you, I was able to make what, 22, 23%, a little bit more after this week's wins in win, and then also after selling another put today. So I'm probably up 25% over the last 3 months while we have this craziness going on. And this is why I'm so glad that you're here, that you're following this channel. By the way, make sure that you subscribe. If you haven't done it yet, subscribe now. Share this video anyhow, so that you know how to make money even when markets are crazy like this, right? Because overall, if you have your money in an IRA account or in a 401k, it probably doesn't look too good. I bet you're not up thus far 25% for the year. Or are you? Anyhow, you get the idea. But this is why you're here. So good to see you here. Okay. So Frank says, do we exit all positions now due to uncertainty? See, this week, I talked about it on Monday. This week, I was unwinding my positions, but absolutely following the rules. For example, for PowerX Optimizer, HAL had a black bar, and so had AM. These were the two positions that were in. When I closed with 90% of the profits, ATVI, I closed the day before earnings. All of this, Frank, great question, but all of this was according to my plan. The only thing I did not do this week is enter new positions. See, there were opportunities this week. I've just shown you Apple and also according to PowerX Optimizer. In normal weeks, I would have entered it. But right now, going into this uncertainty, I'm not blindly selling. I'm following my rules here, but I'm making sure that I'm now rather flat. Again, I have one position in my portfolio, but usually I have around 8 to 10 positions in my portfolio. So one for me is super, super light. Okay. Justin is asking, can you share the Wheel income calculator? It is part of the Wheel income course. Feel free to contact the office. The team can help you with this, right? So call or text Austin number 512-337-1885 or shoot a quick email to support@rockwelltrading.com and the team can help you with this. Okay. Good. So Dave is asking, how did the PowerX and the Wheel strategy during the downturn in March and April? See, this is where, when I saw this craziness, you will see there is there's a video right here on Facebook where I call this crash a week before it happens. It was either a week or 3 days before it happens. Look it up. I can probably post a link in the description if I find it. But anyhow, so when I see something like this coming, I'm doing the same as I do now. I'm sitting on my hands. So, and this is why in PowerX Optimizer, let me just show you, there was clearly a time when I said, don't trade. So let me just refresh this here and show you. And during this time, when I say don't trade, for example, here in AM, I'm marking this in gray. So this way, you know exactly of when not to trade. See, during this time, I clearly said, we don't want to trade through this time. We want to start trading again right here. So great question, but you see, it's super difficult for me, obviously, to say, how did it do when I clearly said I'm not trading it? See, how would Apple turn out if I had traded it today? It's hypothetical. On this channel, it's all about facts and real results. I'm not about hypothetical woulda, coulda, shoulda. I'm showing you what I did. And Dave, it's a great question, but I clearly said sit on your hands, as I've been recommending here the whole week. And I'm now recommending it probably definitely going into the election, and we'll see how it turns out. Maybe I'll sit on my hands for the next few days after the election. So stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so that you can follow me. If you like to follow me, I mean, it's up to you, and can actually see exactly what I'm doing. All right. Good. So Andreas is asking, is it a good idea to trade TQQQ with the wheel during the election? If I could have been flat, I would have. But here you see there was no way to unwind this trade, and I explained all the details in the previous video. I also clearly explained my plan of why I am selling a 100 put as I did today, right? So it's all in the previous video. I'll link to it in the description. Episode 105 of Coffee with Markus. This is where you see my rationale. And yeah, I mean, I would have loved to be flat, but here I have no choice because I'm still following my rules. I'm still following my rules here. Anyhow, good. Okay, Kathy, so good to see you here. Thank you for being here. I'm happy to provide you my insights. And again, this is my opinion. This is what I personally do. Take it for what it's worth and use it to make more informed decisions, right? Teresa, so good to see you here, everybody. So Vern is asking, do you ever roll shorts puts in his, instead of assignment? No, and here's why. I personally, as part of the wheel strategy, I'm okay being assigned. Now, Vern, what you're referring to is probably selling naked puts. When you're selling naked puts, you want to roll because naked puts you do not want to get assigned. So great question here. But keep this in mind, right? I'm trading cash covered puts, and I did a video on this. I'll link to it in the description of why I prefer cash covered puts and why I don't mind getting assigned here. Anyhow, good question here. Good. I see that there's a lot of comments coming in, and Timothy says, "Yeah, I welcome the assignment." Okay, it's so good to see you here. Edgar. All right. So, Timothy, yeah, cash covered puts allow the assignment with no sweat, and then you issued covered calls against the assignment. Yeah. Mark, so good to see you here. You've been following me for a while, right? Also, Ron, good, good, good. So Larry's asking, what do you think about buying QQQ puts today and holding through the election? Well, this could be another strategy. And again, so one of the possible strategies here is to place so-called strangles on the market, right? Where you say, okay, let's take a look at NDX, or you talked about the cubes. Doesn't really matter because the cubes are mirroring the NDX, as you can see, the NASDAQ. So you could say, okay, I believe that we will either have a volatile reaction to the upside or the downside. The challenge is that right now this is already factored in, so options are super expensive. And this is where we go back to your question, Larry. This is why I personally right now prefer selling options instead of buying it. I mean, the volatility, the implied volatility is crazy. So I think in order for a strangle or a straddle to make money in this environment, there has to be a lot of movement. And looking at the past elections, we might not get this volatility, right? That you need in order for this to work out. But it's a great thought process. But this is why I'm personally not doing it. Okay, so Len said, okay, I have sold the 150 call as well as the put. I don't think that there was anything in the 150 call today. We can quickly check. So TQQQ, if we trade and if we go to the 150 call, I believe earlier, yeah, you see, there might have been a little bit earlier 50 cents in it. Right now, going into the close, they were around 30 cents. So for me, it was not really worth the hassle. You could have done it, but keep in mind, you're also paying a little bit of commissions. I mean, it's only $1. But this is why I didn't like the idea of selling it. But yeah, Lance, absolutely. It is a possibility here. All right. Good, good, good. Lance, I got it. Yeah, on TQQQ. I got you here. So, Michael, what do you think Tesla does if Biden wins, up or down? Don't know. You see, this is where I don't know enough about Biden's policies here. And I don't think, you see, during an election, as we all know, there are a lot of promises. And do they really become true? I think the important thing is the first 100 day in office. So for Biden, right, January, February, March, this will give us an idea of what exactly will happen. So until then, there's just uncertainty here. So Jody is asking a great question. If professional traders are getting out of positions, are they holding the cash or were they putting the cash until there's more certainty in the market? Yeah, just cash. And here's why. Right now, you're not getting anything in money market accounts. I mean, if I would put money into a money market account, what do you get? Like 0.1%? Doesn't really make sense at all. So therefore, yes, just holding it in cash because we're only talking about a few days here, right? So Jody is asking, will you consider selling puts expiring next week? Maybe. Let's see. On Wednesday we will know more. And as you know, I'm going live with Coffee with Markus Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So you will see in the Wednesday show what I'm planning to do. Again, if the markets are saying, okay, and if you have more certainty, then yes, there will be opportunities again. If we still have uncertainty, because we just talked about it, right? I mean, out of all the uncertainty that we have, not too much uncertainty will be taken out next week, next Tuesday, right? I mean, we will know by Wednesday, hopefully, knock on wood, who won, or we might not know, right? It's very important because there are some key states where it might take longer until we know of what's happening here. So we'll see. Zia's asking, can you please do a video on short selling? I will be happy to do this. I thought I did one, but I might not. I'll look it up for you. If I didn't do it, Zia, I will definitely talk about short selling and how you can benefit from a falling market. And we're talking now about short selling stocks. So great question here. Okay. Now, Mike says, I'm still in PXO puts on ADT, might take profits on Monday before the election. I think it's smart. You see, going into the election, it's kind of a gamble. Here's the deal, Mike. If you were able to lock in some profits already, here's what you could always do, because you're saying puts. So I assume that you have more than one. You can always close part of your position, move your stop loss to a point where you cannot lose money anymore, and then hold on to the other part of your position. That is always a viable option, because let's take a look at ADT and how they're doing. I know that it was a PowerX suggestion. So Power ADT came up. When was it? I think it was. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at it. So this tool here is the PowerX optimizer that I like to use. Yeah. So you probably went short at 741, or you bought puts when we moved below 741. Let's see where we are right now on ADT. So right now, yeah, I mean, you're looking at some nice profits here probably. Also keep in mind that ADT has earnings coming up in 6 days, so it is next Thursday, I believe. So keep this in mind, right? So it might make sense that you close part of your positions as we suggest. This is why in PowerX Optimizer, let's just see. Let's go back there to PowerX Optimizer and let's see where you should have taken profits at 641 is the conservative profit target. Did we already reach this? Because if so, you should take profits at 641. And today we went as low as 648. So yeah, I think it is super smart what you said, to possibly take profits here on Monday if you can. Okay. So Edgar, I don't speculate on this. So the question is, if Trump loses, when do you think that the economy will crash? I don't know. You see, you remember that everybody said if Trump gets elected, the economy crashes? There was recently a poll from Gallup, who asked people, are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? 56% of the people who were interviewed said yes. So again, I don't know. Trade what you see, not what you think, right? And this is where I will see what is happening next week, and I don't engage in hypotheticals right now because we don't know yet who will win the presidential election. We will hopefully know next Wednesday, so we shall see. Okay. So the wild is asking, in an underwater trade like you're in, how do you set your strikes? Do you put it in above your cost basis or gamble and put it below? No, I never go below my cost basis. So I usually always go above my cost basis, because if we have a sudden jump and a rally, I want to make sure that I'm not realizing a loss, right? So great question. Okay. So, Big Island, why not sell calls against stocks you own, one standard deviation? Because I just showed you the calls that I'm interested in, they just had 30 cents of premium times 100. So that's what, like $30, right? I mean, $30 until next week. I want to see at least $20 a day. So, because what is it, 6 days, $30, 6 days, that's only $5 a day. Not interested in that at all. Yeah, so you want to make sure that there's enough premium in there. And this is why I'm using my wheel income calculator to calculate, is there enough premium that I can sell calls? And if not, like today, I did decide to sell a put. Okay. Wellness NYC says, my wife started saying good, good, good during her phone conversations because of your positive influence every Friday. We actually did a mug. Let's do the following. Wellness NYC, I know that you told me your name at some point. Please do me a favor. Email Nicole at rockwelltrading.com. Email her your name and your address. I want to ship you a mug. We actually have a mug that says good, good, good. So Nicole, Jared, or Debbie, whoever is on the call, if Wellness NYC, I want to ship you a mug for your wife. Okay, give it to your wife, and it says good, good, good on the mug. Okay, this is fantastic. Good, good, good. So yeah, other mastermind members are welcoming. Paresh, so good to have you. Kathy, Monica. Jignesh is asking, what is a diamond member? If you are interested, I have a private group of traders. It's not for everybody, because there is an investment. It is a year-long commitment on my part, and so I'm also expecting a year-long commitment on your part. But if you're interested in what this is, contact Lisa. Here's her phone number. You can call her, you can text her, or you can send her an email at lisa@rockwelltrading.com. Um, Again, we want to make sure that we only have the right people in there, so it is not for everybody. Contact Lisa and see if this is for you. All right. Well, my team just tells me, guys, what is going on with you here? Usually you're really well behaved. My team just tells me that there's some nasty comments coming in about politics. Politics don't make us money. The markets make us money. Let's focus on this, right? I mean, honestly, this is where there is very little that we can do based on the results that happen next week. I mean, I hope that you all voted. This is the right and patriotic thing to do. Vote, right? I mean, vote for who you want to be your next president. And then you know that we have there a very special election system, and this has been around for, I believe, a few hundred years or something like this. And based on this, the next president will be elected. And you might like it, you might not like it. So I can just tell you, here's what I tell my kids. When we have a president, I do believe that we should support whoever is the president, because otherwise it'll tear our country apart. And that's the last thing that I want. And you know this. You're here because you know that this is a good family. Let not politics tear apart this family. We have one goal here, and our goal is to make money with trading. And by making money with trading, we can make the world a better place. You have seen it here. I'm happy to donate money to organizations like the Children of Fallen Heroes. I think we donated like $6,000-7,000, can't remember. Yeah, or to individuals who are having a rough time. And I know that many of you did this as well. And this is why we are doing the channel. So, you know me, I'm staying out of the politics because for me, it's about making money with trading. And that's what I want for you as well. So we all might disagree on our political views, which is fine. That's why we are in a democracy. Welcome to the United States of America, right? I mean, it is a democracy here. It's not a tyranny, and it's not a dictatorship. You know that other countries are not as fortunate as us, where we have rights, where we have freedom. And yes, we do have the freedom of speech, but let's keep it clean here, okay? Good. All right. Now, I see that there's a few more questions that I want to address really, really quickly. So Joseph said, just bought back Win for 3 cents. Yes, I got out of Win also earlier today. I think it was at 8 cents because I sold Win for 83 cents. Anyhow, so we will see what happens next week. We will see if there are some uncertainty being taken off the table. So NASDAQ, let's actually take a look at this as a final thing here. The NASDAQ actually had a quick rally into the close. Let's take a look at a 5-minute chart. So as you can see, right before the close, boom, quick shot up. So had the Dow. So this here 5-minute chart. And as you see, going into the close, we had a quick pull up. So this might mean that on Monday, we might actually bounce back. We will see what happens on Monday. Again, I'm trading super light here. I hope that you're doing the same. Regardless of where you are, enjoy your weekend. Stay warm. I heard that in some parts of the country, it is already snowing. So stay warm here in Austin. It is a wonderful temperature in the 70s. So I'll enjoy my weekend. Please do the same. And then I'll see you back on Monday. And we'll see what the markets are doing and how we can make money in these markets. Take care, everybody.